Viewer discretion is advised.
Up next on Gone Wild. Yo, check it out. We got a California giant salamander in there. Oh my god. Hell yeah. Alright. Let's go get it.
Oh,
Oh my god.
good. You want help?
Nope.
You got it?
Oh my god.
Where did it go? Wait. How do I hold it? I don't want to drop it.
You got it? You got it? Alright. Hello guys, this is Gordon from Gordon Gone Wild. I am joined here with my wonderful friend Elisa, who's behind the camera. Elisa, you want to say hi?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? And check it out, we have here one beautiful, gigantic California giant salamander. Look at that. How do you feel, Lisa?
I feel amazed.
You feel amazed. Yeah, you want to tell us about the salamander? Actually, Lisa was the one who found it, so why don't you give us a little rundown on what happened here?
Well, we just drove up to this random place in the Mill Valley and looked with our phone flashlights in these random cracks. And I saw a little head peeking out from one of the cracks, and it was a California giant salamander.
Yep, wouldn't you know it? Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that. And so these are one of the most amazing salamanders in the world. In fact, they're actually the world's largest terrestrial. Now I want to emphasize terrestrial because there are salamanders larger than this, but these are the world's largest terrestrial salamanders on the entire planet. Can you fucking believe that? Yeah.
No, I cannot.
No, Elisa speaks for us all. She cannot believe
Look at
it,
that thing.
and
It's
neither can
huge
I. That's right.
and
so
beautiful.
It's beautiful, and yes, there are salamanders larger than this. So there are Asian giant salamanders. So we have the Chinese giant salamander, the Japanese giant salamanders, which are the largest salamanders in the world. We also have hellbenders out in the eastern United States, which are bigger than this. However, these species are all entirely aquatic. This is the only one that can live terrestrially or on the ground as an adult. And this species of salamander is called the California giant salamander. Again, scientific name is Dicamptodon ensatus, and they are part of this complex of species of giant salamanders that are called the Pacific giant salamander. So you can find them as far south as the Santa Cruz redwood forest, all the way up north into the Pacific Northwest. And this here is just super, super cute. Look at those buggy eyes. Just look.
It's so
I'd
cute.
say-
It looks like a
Yeah. Right?
a dinosaur.
Right? And do you see the little moving of the throat action here, Lisa? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what we call buccal pumping, which is when it pumps air into its body so it can breathe. And this is an action that amphibians take in order to breathe, and physiologically it's a different mechanism than how we mammals breathe. So, cool fact of the day, among the other many cool facts that I'm about to share. These salamanders are really, really wonderful. However, they do have very specific habitat requirements. As you can see around me, here are, we're in the middle of a thick redwood forest. If you want to point down there, there's a creek. Although it hasn't quite filled up yet because today is the first rain of the fall/winter season. So hopefully in the next few weeks, once we get more rains, the waters will fill up and we'll start to see more of these salamanders. Now what's really cool about these salamanders is for the most part, when it's dry, they're just hiding in little cracks like these because they don't want to dry out. But once the rains hit, they will come out. They'll go down to these creeks and they'll start breeding en masse, and they'll lay eggs in these creeks, and then eventually the eggs will hatch into larvae, and then these larvae will take about a year, maybe a couple years in some cases to mature, at which point they metamorphose from aquatic gilled larvae, so they have gills as larvae. And then once they grow up, they lose their gills, they develop lungs, and then they venture back out onto land and become these gigantic, gigantic salamanders. Just like
So
that.
how old do you think this one is, Gordon?
That's a good question. You know, I don't really know. I'm going to say at least several years. Probably, I don't know, rough ballpark, at least 5 years, maybe 10 years. You know, it's hard to say. They're fairly long-lived, and I can't recall the lifespan off the top of my head, but I can look that up later and show you in the fucking comments, because that's how we do. Yeah, and so this is really cool. They are reasonably common, but again, you need to be in the right habitat to find them. You have to find them in these moist redwood forests, or these moist temperate rainforests, I should specify, such as these redwood forests, and they have to be in the proximity of a creek in which they can use to lay their eggs in. And so if you can scout out these places, chances are you're going to find one of these wonderful giant salamanders. And before I leave, I just wanted to say that this has been one of the driest years on record in recent history in California. We're currently in 2020, which has obviously been a tough year for everyone, but especially for California, the weather's just been really bad. We've been suffering a lot of wildfires in these past years. And, you know, one of my concerns is that the forest in which these giant salamanders live will be completely wiped out, you know? Or we could suffer so much climate change that with each year it gets drier and drier, that the breeding season gets a lot shorter, so that these salamanders will not be able to lay eggs and continue to pass on their genes to the next generation. So there is some concern that I have that these salamanders will die out. But, you know, I'm hoping that now we have a new administration along the way. That's right, dump Trump, Biden 2020, not because I love Biden, but because what we're saying is we're rejecting fascism by voting out the fucking orange dictator-in-chief. Hopefully, with Biden in power soon, we can take some measures to actually combat climate change and preserve all the forests in the world, such as forests like here, in which the giant salamander lives in. And hopefully with that, the giant salamander can persist for years to come. And with that, this is Gordon Gone Wild. Any closing remarks, Elisa?
I think that's it.
That's it. All right, that's all, folks. We'll see you at the next episode. All right, take care. A little extra something for you viewers out there. We caught another salamander, and we're gonna let it back into its habitat. We will let it be. All right.